David Gergen was born in Durham, North Carolina, to John J. Gergen, the chairman of the mathematics department at Duke University from 1937 to 1966, and Aubyn Munger, née Lermont. He was the youngest of 4 children. One of his brothers, Kenneth J. Gergen, is a psychologist and professor emeritus at Swarthmore College. Gergen was educated at Durham High School, a former public high school in his hometown of Durham, North Carolina, where he edited the school newspaper, High Rocket. After high school graduation, he went to Yale University, from which he earned his BA degree in American Studies in 1963 and was a member of the Manuscript Society. At Yale, he was managing editor of the Yale Daily News, whose staff at the time included future Senator Joe Lieberman, Stephen Bingham, Robert G. Kaiser, and Paul Steiger. Gergen received his Bachelor of Laws degree from Harvard Law School in 1967 and married Elizabeth Gergen, a native of London, England, the same year. Gergen began his political career in 1971 when he went to work for Richard Nixon as a staff assistant in the speechwriting office headed by Ray Price, a group that included Pat Buchanan, Ben Stein, and William Safire. 2 years later, he rose to director of speechwriting. In 1974, Gergen took a brief hiatus from the White House to write speeches for Treasury Secretary William E. Simon. Gergen writes in his book, "For me it was a great trade. The Treasury team taught me all about free markets and fiscal discipline." Gergen returned to the White House in 1975 as Director of Communications for President Gerald Ford. In 1980, Gergen was an advisor to the George H.W. Bush presidential campaign and went on to join the Reagan White House in 1981. Beginning as a staff director, he eventually became Director of Communications. In 1993, Gergen returned to the White House, serving as counselor to President Bill Clinton and Secretary of State Warren Christopher. Gergen is the author of the New York Times bestseller book Eyewitness to Power, The Essence of Leadership, Nixon to Clinton, published in 2000. The book recounts his time in the Nixon, Ford, Reagan, and Clinton administrations. Gergen argues that, as the 21st century begins, the success of the United States as a country will depend heavily upon the success of a new generation in power. Drawing upon his many experiences in the White House, he offers 7 vital elements that future leaders must possess: inner mastery, a central, compelling purpose rooted in moral values, a capacity to persuade, an ability to work within the system, a sure, quick start, strong, prudent advisors, and a passion that inspires others to carry on the mission. Gergen's second book, Hearts Touched with Fire, How Great Leaders Are Made, was published in 2022. Gergen married Elizabeth Gergen, a family therapist, in 1967. They lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and had 2 children and 5 grandchildren. Their son, Christopher, is a social entrepreneur in North Carolina, as well as an author and a member of the Duke University faculty. Their daughter, Catherine, is a family doctor, working with the underserved population at the Boston Medical Center. In December 2024, Catherine revealed that Gergen had Lewy body dementia. He died at a retirement home in Lexington, Massachusetts, on July 10, 2025, at the age of 83.